Maurice White asks, what made him a great band leader? What was it? Well, of course, he was a big influence on Prince too, and much of what I said about Prince applies to Maurice White. He was definitely about sound, vision, creativity, getting the most of his musicians when he was creating Earth, Wind, and Fire, and what his concept was. Of course, the Egyptian pyramids and the studies and everything he did. Obviously, when he was playing with the kalimba, and percussive instruments. Now, he wasn't a multi instrumentalist like Prince was, but he had a tone to understand how he wanted the group, the band, and harmonies to sound. Because him and Philip Bailey did all the vocals, which is amazing. Once after Jessica Cleaves left from Keep Your Head to the Sky, if we get past the '73 era, did all the vocals, and then the way he was about the horn charts and the arrangements was very distinctive. Um, the way he heard the arrangements, the way he came up with the rhythms, the things that he was looking for. He had a very distinctive demeanor and way he wanted to be crafted. Now, when you translate it to the stage, he gave solo parts, which I was very distinctively aware of because they would do percussion breaks, and then he would give the guitar player something. So Ralph Johnson or I can't think of Roland, but he would do some guitar parts. Verdine White would have his solos on bass when he was not hanging there and doing things. And of course, Larry Dunn, the original ones, was getting down on the keys, hitting that band board up, and you was definitely like, yeah, you know. And then, sometimes he would, uh, uh, he would have different, uh, like Andrew Woolfolk would have his moments. So, just thinking about that over time when he would ease the musicianship, when he would, Al McKay, who was the original Fire with the on the guitar and the rhythm, and him and Verdine was switching off on guitar and bass while they was doing battles, and you felt the groove, the spark was there, So he had different parts, and he would give different people different set of factors to shine, and that's one of the things that Remember, late Don Myrick would do his part. You would hear parts, and he was very much into the theatrical with Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's one of the things about it, how he would like when you're looking at parts and segments, and of course with the aerial and everything, but he was very hands on. Now, it wasn't later, and I think it was like pretty much before he, stopped touring when they started bringing the dancers and everything, but he had a pretty simple routine. When they were adding steps and grooves and everything, but he kept pretty much things in check. But you always knew that the way the solos and the parts would be, and the way the harmonies would be, the instrumental parts would be, you just kind of had a feeling and a flow of how it was going to be. And that's one of the things that I always enjoyed about him and his musical mind, as a band leader, the way he was looking to incorporate so many different styles and themes. It was world music. There's no other way I can describe it about Earth, Wind, and Fire, but it started with him. Started with how he approached the drums, how he approached how he heard things, and it was fed off from that. When he would depend on the groove or how it was going, how he wanted solos to be used. How he wanted parts to be used. You could definitely tell where things were going, and it was a certain type of nuance that was there, and so it fed off of that. And then the effects of a band leader, how you swing, how he could get that jazz kick out of his so much of his groove, how he could get those tempos, and how he understood the nuances and the changes, and then the subtlety, and then those hits that he would put up in there with those horn charts. So there's a lot of little different layers that he used. Again, just like with Prince before, when they changed up their stylings and their sounds, and they were incorporating more of the modernization, it went to that tempo, it went to that groove. But you always knew um, the signature, and you always knew where Maurice White was coming from, and how he, dictated the changes and everything. And it was like a flow chart, but it worked out so smoothly, you know. And he gave you like a run and start with what he was putting down, but yet it just it just kind of just hit so effectively. And then again on the sound, the records were always, the engineering at the concerts were always sounding like top tier. Um, he really understood those nuances and the team he had. So very effective. So always remembered him uh, very hands on and a very effective band leader and one of the greatest to ever do it. So wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Please share the video if you like and visit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay true. Till next time I catch you. Peace. The best I'm out.